Going live. All right, we are live again, and we have Persephone Dusk. What's up, everybody? This is Mazuzi from Zoetic Promotions, and we just had a fell epic hour of echo and all kinds of shit, but we are back with Persephone Dusk. And I have been waiting for this interview for quite some time. I'm excited to interview you again. Take two, everybody.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Ooh, pretty good. Had to take a little refresher myself after that.
Right? That was insane. I was trying to ask you questions and it was driving me nuts. I'm sure it drove a lot of viewers nuts, but we are back. And I would like to ask you a question that I was thinking about out there. Are you a juggalo? Are you a juggalette?
Of course I am. I've
Fuck
been
yeah.
2006.
Hell yeah. I would like you to try not to have your headphones because you are a little bit low. So do you mind just trying that real quick?
Okay.
And I'm just going to share everyone. Hey, that's better
Hey, that's
for me.
better for me.
You're muted.
You're muted.
But we'll get this. We got this, everybody. Hello. Welcome to Zoetic Promotions. We are back. And we have way better quality sound. How are you doing tonight?
Pretty good. Woke up early, cleaned a lot of stuff, worked out a little bit, drank some coffee.
Right on.
And now here I am.
So do you have to work out to stay in shape for your performances?
My backdrop's trying to eat me alive.
That's a horror movie itself right there. So we're back in session. We're giving this another go. And things are frozen. What is happening to this universe, everyone? We absolutely love Persephone Dusk. She's been traveling and performing. She's gone to many gatherings. And tonight, we're interviewing her. I don't know what's happened to her, but we will get this. So, in our last interview, there was some echo and we got a lot of good information. And while she's fixing her situation, I'm just going to explain to you, she is a sword swallower and she's triple breasted and very talented. She it's a sideshow burlesque show that she does. And she is heading to Vegas soon to train in the school to do more performing art techniques. She was telling us in the last take that she went to school to learn how to swallow sword, and it takes a lot of skill. And she has only cut herself once. So mad props to Persephone Dusk. She'll be back soon. Hoping you all kind of enjoyed the last interview, even though it was very difficult. But we got this time. Welcome back. So I just kind of explained it's a burlesque sideshow. Did I say that right? Or sideshow burlesque?
You did.
Okay, perfect. I'm really fascinated with everything that you do. This is amazing. And you have gone to how many gatherings? 5?
So this year was my third, actually.
3rd. Are you going next year?
More than likely.
Please, because I'm going next year. It will be fun. And you are also telling me about how you love horror, and you actually perform some pretty interesting performances where you lay on nails, you walk on glass. What else was it that you did? You put a nail up your nose.
Yeah, and pound it in with a hammer.
Ooh, that's pretty crazy. Have you ever hurt yourself doing that?
No, not really.
What do you mean by not really?
Like, before I got used to it, I pulled the nail out and there was a little blood on it, but I think it was like just the same as a common nosebleed, honestly. But since I've gotten used to it, that hasn't happened again.
So maybe just a little bit irritable from it.
Yeah.
Do you have to make sure that it's a specific nail?
16-penny roofing nail.
Damn. So a penny roofing nail would be copper? No?
Steel, I think.
Still? That's pretty dope. Do you do like fake blood when you do it at all, or?
No.
No. You don't really need to, because you want to show that you weren't injured. And quick question about the feet. Do your feet, like, how do you train your feet to walk on broken glass like that and pound it hard? Is that a mind over matter thing? Or how does that work? That is incredible. Like, your mind actually will not allow yourself to get cut.
Yeah. And I've done it.
Fascinating.
Used to it.
Wow. That's just fascinating. How did you learn that in the school that you went to with sword swallowing?
Oh, Coney Island? Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty dope. I want to go. I want to train my skin to resist being cut. That is sick. That's cool. So, and I also learned in the last one that you love animals. You're an animal lover, and look who's here.
Yeah, this is her. The girl I saved from California.
Hey, she's beautiful. Very rare breed dog, and you have 2 of them who kind of watch over you while you're traveling and protect you, right? Which is badass.
Like my bouncers.
Have you ever had an incident where you really needed protection and anything happened to you specifically?
I was in New Orleans and I had a guy who just didn't know how to leave me alone. And there were like a lot of tourists out on Bourbon Street, right? And at the time I was trained for 5K. And I'm like, yeah, I bet this guy's not going to catch me. So I just like ran and bolted into a busy club full of people and lost him that way.
That's crazy. That I'm glad you lost him. If you need backup, I can go with you on the road. I may be 4'7", but I know some things. I'll just do like a backflip, chokehold, crazy.
Like ninja thing.
Like some kind of like, I am a ninja, pretty much. So this is really exciting that now our interview is going really well. And we pretty much talked about a lot of stuff. Is there anything that we didn't talk about that you'd like to get into?
I don't know. I'm going on the road pretty soon.
Are you going to be performing anywhere on the way to Vegas?
No, pretty much point A is here in Michigan, point B is Las Vegas.
Okay. Well, if you have time, roll through, and we would love to like pay you to perform. Do you have pretty high prices? Are you pretty valuable?
Yeah, my act is like a novelty act, and so everything I do is dangerous, and I'm pretty much risking myself doing it. So,
Right. You would think that it would be like huge, you know? Um, is there anything that you are terrified of, or do you get nervous? Do you get like stage fright sometimes? Like, let's.
the worst thing is like pressure from competitions. I always like compare myself to the other performers, and that's like my biggest flaw.
So after most performances, do you feel like your act is pretty badass, and do you feel more confident?
Like, pretty much what makes me feel better, more confident is like the energy that I'm getting from the audience.
Nice.
I
You
kind of
probably
like
get a lot
feed
of.
off the cheers of the crowd.
Do you ever have like a dull crowd where you have techniques where you can get them hyped up and involved?
Yeah,
If it,
actually.
what do you normally do?
So, like, if it's a certain song and there's like a part in it, I'll start clapping, or I'll be like, "Who wants to see me swallow this sword?" And, like, basically, like carnival barkers, like the old days.
Hmm. So we have a comment here for the triple-breasted beauty, and that is what I put in the title. You are very beautiful, and I admire that. So, because we're starting over, maybe we could start over with how you chose to get into the style of burlesque sideshow.
So basically, I started off. I was born with an extra part that we've all been talking about and wondering about, and fell in love with burlesque. And I saw, when I was a kid, I saw that there was Coney Island Sideshow School because there was a news channel doing a story on it, and some of the students that were there learning the sideshow arts. So about 10 to 12 years later, here I am with adult money, and it was 2019, so like right before the pandemic. I went and I stayed in Brooklyn for the week and went to the class at Coney Island Sideshow, like the museum.
Nice. So you stayed there for how long?
So I was in Brooklyn for about a week.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Did you get a high from that?
It wasn't really like, I thought it was awesome that I was on their stage, but I was more there to learn.
Right on. I just put on a little background music for fun. So you weren't there for long, but you did get that. Did you get a rush, or was there like something that told you, I'm doing this again? This is amazing.
Yeah, I knew, like, I went there wanting to pursue the sword swallowing as the main thing. So pretty much they teach you how to do it, and then it's up to you to develop it and train your gag reflexes and your throat and whatnot.
Do you get a lot of perverts that talk about that?
Oh my, yeah. Every time I say sword swallowing, they're like, "You want to swallow my sword?" You know?
It probably gets pretty old, doesn't it?
Yeah, every time. Anytime like somebody posts about Persephone's here and she's a sword swallower. Like, almost instantly, there's a comment on Facebook.
It's just, I mean, in a way, it's like you're performing, you're beautiful, you're performing in hardly anything, right? So you would attract that a little bit, but it's an art, and I just feel like it's really disrespectful for people to blurt that out, you know?
Yeah.
And that leads me to another question. Not about the triple breasts or anything like that yet. We'll let them know. I'll let you describe that experience that you've had in your life. What other career have you thought of? Is there anything in your, like, are you planning anything else, or is this mainly the career you're going to stick to?
So I have like one more semester before I'm done with culinary school, and I do want to have a food truck. I thought about converting like the kitchen in my RV into one that can pass like a food safety inspection and whatnot, like with the porous walls and floors. And I mean, I'm
like have a window open, and then you have like the food in your kitchen and everything.
Yeah, more of like old English style breakfast and like pastries and whatnot and coffee.
Nice. So like something that they would serve in like an old burlesque style time era.
Yeah, like think about 1900s France, like Paris.
Okay. Do you feel, I know this is deep, do you believe in reincarnation, and do you feel like maybe in a past life you have carried this on to this life?
I do believe in reincarnation, and I've actually done a past life regression session and seen a few things, but what I saw in my session doesn't really align with my life now.
Okay. What do you think really inspired you to go in this direction in your life? What was it?
Well, I started off just dancing and fell in love with burlesque and I wanted more out of it.
And you have achieved that. Do you feel like there's more? You're going to school in Vegas, so you're continuing your education. Do you know this woman, Melissa Davis? Oh, I know this woman. She's from Salt Lake. She says, "Hey, lady, you all look amazing." Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you
Amazing.
so much.
So back to what you just said. So you're continuing your education. You are almost done in culinary school, which is very admirable. Did this help put you through school?
Yeah, actually.
Has it been difficult balancing both?
At times, yeah. Because I have to be up like at 7 a.m. and then I'm at school until 1 o'clock.
Wow.
Take a nap and then wake up and do the nightlife side of things, you know?
So you must appreciate sleep.
Yeah, it's my best friend, and I can't function so great without it.
Right? You need that, especially if you're performing. And how long have you been down with the clown?
Since about middle school, 2006.
Okay, that's a long time. Well, whoop whoop, sis.
Whoop, whoop.
And we just saw Shaggy Two Dope. It was pretty fun. He ran through Salt Lake. Have you met anybody from Psychopathic Records in your experience at the gatherings?
Not really.
Have you met any artists there that are memorable?
Well, I met Lardy B and HB the Grizzlies, a pretty good friend of mine. She's like a
I love her. I'm going to interview her soon after Gorefest.
Yeah, do it. Definitely do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've known her for a bit online. I've never met her in person yet, and interviewed her years ago in 2020. She's an amazing singer.
Yeah, she was. I like carpooled with them to my first gathering, actually.
Oh, hell yeah.
With her too. Last year.
Nice. That's cool. You know HB. And Lardy B. I haven't ever seen her live. What is it like?
So it was crazy. Like, she went on stage at 3 a.m. and started doing her thing, and the whole crowd kept throwing like Twinkies. Somebody threw a birthday cake. Just a lot of food went flying that whole set.
Did she enjoy it? Was she having fun with it?
Yeah, it was awesome watching her.
That's cool. That is dope. I'm glad nobody threw any like beer bottles. That would be a tough one, you know. But if they threw them at you, you would be fine. You have mind power where nothing can cut your skin ever, right?
That's right.
Cross your fingers. So you're a sword swallower. You land nails. You slam nails up your nose. You what else? What am I missing? So we can catch up our new viewers. Walk on glass. You like stomp on it. Which I would love to see this. I really do want to see this. If we can't book you here, we're all going to Vegas to see your show. And what did you say it was again?
Deja Vu.
Deja Vu. Okay.
Vegas Strip, I think.
Okay. The Strip is what we call it.
Yeah.
And
Erotic Heritage Museum.
Guys, that sounds really fascinating, actually. Do they have a lot of acts there that are kind of similar?
Yeah. So, like, it's me, and there's going to be other students performing.
Oh, nice. That sounds really fun. I want to go. Whoop whoop. Joe Smoke from Keep It Lit says whoop whoop. How you doing?
Hello.
If you end up rolling through Salt Lake and visiting, you can meet Joe. He is the main man of Keep It Lit and manages a pretty nice group of artists. You'll have to check it out. We'll share that information with you. And I haven't announced this yet, but we are sponsored by Keep It Lit. He's now officially sponsoring Zoetic Promotions. So whoop whoop, Joe. It's the shit, huh? So, does anybody have any questions? Comment a question if you have any question for her. We'll just keep an eye out for it. Joe said he's been there. That place is dope. Oh, that's cool. You've been there, Joe. Maybe we can go down with you and you can show us where it's at.
Yes, I always love hearing about other people's experiences at these places.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Keep it lit. Whoop whoop. And so speaking of experiences, you were talking earlier in the first take about horror movies and haunted houses, which is really fascinating. But I just want to ask you, before this interview, you said you had a really weird dream, and I love talking about dreams. Tell us, do you want to share your weird dream?
So, I have a lot of them, actually, but probably the creepiest one I've ever had. Kind of sad, too. My great-great-grandma was in a dream walking my little mini bully who died last year. And what was weird about that was they're both from different eras of my life, so they wouldn't know each other. And that just freaked me out.
Okay. So they were both from different timelines, right?
Yeah, one's childhood and one I just lost last year.
So in a dream, when you dream of a certain time period, that's you going back and your subconscious healing that time. I've never heard of two different timelines at the same time. So that might be like a full circle, maybe?
That's interesting. I haven't really
Mhm.
dove too deep into that dream because it kind of freaked me out, but
That would be. But sometimes dreams are not as, like, I'm a dream interpreter. So, not
oh,
professionally, but I've been interpreting dreams for a long time. Um, but sometimes if they're terrifying like that, they're not, it's actually good. It's actually healing. You're going back into those places. So that's cool. And I'm also fascinated. Are you really intuitive? Because you were telling us about the haunted houses and how when you walked in, you felt that you couldn't go on that staircase. You were talking. You want to explain this story again?
yeah. So when I
And
was
could you plug your mic in just a little bit? It was really good sound, and then it just kind of got a little light, like maybe something happened with your mic, or
we're on the phone now.
that's okay, your phone. So maybe it just the speaker got covered. That's a lot better. That's perfect. Okay, go on. I'm really
Okay,
excited.
so I went to the Haunted Museum in Las Vegas. Like Zach Bagans from Ghost Adventures has a collection of like the most haunted artifacts in the world, right? So
Mhm.
between here and Chicago is Gary, Indiana, and it's not really the best neighborhood in the world. And there was a family who dealt with demonic possession, like one of their kids got possessed. And the CPS worker who went there, like, witnessed one of the kids walking on the ceiling and, like, eyes rolling into the back of his head, speaking in tongues and whatnot. And, anyways, this big dog, when I went to save her, I was driving back from LA and stopped in Vegas for the night and said, "What the hell, I'm going." So I went, and I did not want to be in that room with the staircase from the demon house because it just hit too close to home, and I'm like, what if it follows me? And like
Ooh.
every time I drive to Chicago, I want to like stop and go to that lot, but the other part of me says don't because it's dangerous and it's going to latch onto you and you don't live so far away from it. So, yeah, no demon house staircase for me.
Yeah, that sounds really creepy. And I've had experiences like that where you don't even want to think about it. You know, because if you think about it, you
Yeah.
might connect with that spirit or it might haunt you or, you know.
Yeah, but I've also made connections with some spirits around the city. So
Oh, tell us about that.
I do a little bit of paranormal stuff. So 2021, I was like one of the first people to investigate the Drake farmstead, which was like one of the first farmsteads around, well, Ashtimo Township, which is not too far away. And there's a staircase, and I just felt something there, and I sat on it, and I have an S box. It's like a little modified radio. And if
Mhm.
you've seen the movie White Noise, you know they can like speak through the white noise.
I do
And
that. You just turn on water or a fan, you record it, and then you amplify it and you can
yeah,
hear stuff. Okay. All right.
so I'm like there, and I'm sitting on the staircase, and I start like getting really sad. And I start asking it questions, and I say, "Are you happy here?" And this voice comes through really loud and says, "I've got to get out of here."
Oh. Did you help it in any way?
I I tried to, but I want to go back there again.
How long ago was that?
About 2 years almost.
Huh. Well, I hope that you can, reconnect, maybe help.
Yeah,
Have you had any other paranormal experiences like that or that are pretty cool?
I've had like little things happen, like little synchronicities, if you want to call them that. So Kalamazoo, it's a big college town. So there's like a double murder-suicide that happened at one of the schools, and at the time I was dealing with domestic violence, and the girl was shot. Like, she didn't make it out of her incident, so I went to her grave and gave her a little love and played some music from the time period that she'd know, and it was No Doubt, of course. And I went into
Oh,
a store
which
like
song? Which song? Was it "Don't Speak" or
Yeah,
was it
and
that
then
one?
I go in a store and Hella Good starts playing. I'm like, okay, I hear you.
Nice. That's cool. So she probably was just, oh, I'm getting chills. Woo! I just
Same.
got arm chills. She's around. So what do
Goosebumps.
you know about her? Oh, everybody, you're witnessing something paranormal. If you look behind me, I see energy sometimes. I kind of saw like a little, if you guys can see it. Nope, can't. Do you know much about her?
Yeah, this
You
house,
didn't.
I think, is what's like. So I know she was going to Kalamazoo College to be a doctor, and that's all I know. Besides, she played French horn.
Huh. So the double murder, do you know the cause? Did they find out?
So she was like with this dude, and he was like a child soldier and started getting possessive and like controlling of her. And she broke it off with him and said, "This is too much." And there was a dance at Kalamazoo College, and she went there and was dancing with somebody else, and the boy that she broke it off with was there too. And he like lured her to his dorm room and shot her and shot himself over
So
jealousy.
she's still in trauma.
Yeah, this
Spirit.
happened in 1999.
The year my daughter was born. Go, Piper, go. My dog's concerned about the room. She's coming in all freaked out. Go, go, go. She's trying to protect me from the energies around, and you froze. So everybody, you're witnessing some
Weird.
paranormal conversation going on. We also have a little bit of white noise with the music in the background. Maybe we can get some cool shit. This is cool. I really love conversations like this. I think everybody kind of wants to get to know you, and we're getting to know you deeper, and I like it. I hope you're entertained too and enjoying this interview.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Made Man Jay from Keep It Lit said this is my kind of conversation. Oh yeah. So have you had any paranormal experiences in any of the places you performed? Because you have pretty intense performances.
So this is back when I first started dancing. There was a club in South Bend, Indiana, and if you know the bank robber John Dillinger, supposedly he played cards above this place in an apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And I was getting ready for the night with like 3 other girls, and this razor just lifts off up the counter and comes flying at me.
What?
Yeah.
Like from out of nowhere?
Yeah, just out of nowhere.
So you dodged it, obviously.
Yeah.
What, did you pick it up? Could you see the razor?
I didn't see it go flying, but I dodged it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whatever it was had really...
What happened right there? You just bleeped out. You said whatever it was had really, and then you bleeped out.
I said it didn't, it had crappy aim, whatever it was.
You just made it mad. You just made him so mad. Oh, man. It's like, I don't have crappy aim. He was just giving you a warning or something.
Yeah, this house this house is like 100 years old, so I've done stuff here, and I know there is somebody here.
Ooh. Well, this is really fun, actually. Does it like scare you though, or are you okay with who's there?
I'm okay with it.
Do you?
Actually, I was doing like a session the other day with my spirit box, and I said, "Do you accept I'm the new owner of this home?" And it said, "Yeah." So
Hell yeah, that's good. That's good to have that kind of a feeling where you're like, okay,
let's
I
coexist.
I I get messages from dreams. Like last night, there was something connected to my bed through the computer. And I woke and I saw, okay, I'll share my dream. I dreamed of this tub and I put some papers in it and somebody was going to take a bath and all of a sudden the papers moved and we were like, that's a spirit. And it happened twice. And the second time we knew it was a spirit. It was really creepy. You know how when you have dreams and they're not like that gory or anything, but a face came into my dream and I woke up. Isn't that trippy?
Yeah.
It gave me a really eerie feeling, and it was like an old claw bathtub. And there was something on the paper that looked like Ouija board writing. Interpret that. That is freaky, huh?
Very.
So, what if you were to do like the ultimate performance? What would you do?
So, Dita Von Teese style, I'd have a giant champagne glass. Or I'd have a coffin that I come out of and start doing my stunts.
Okay. Do you know anybody that could help you make a coffin?
I can find one on Marketplace or eBay.
Yeah, you could. You could make it really cool.
Maybe I can get a used one for really cheap.
Oh, that's really creepy, but that would be so cool. Maid Man Jang said that ghost is sub. Hell yeah. What does that mean? Sub.
Maybe he died making Subway sandwiches.
That makes sense. That's the most sense we could make out of that. But if you could explain what you slightly used, what does that mean? I'm not sure. But I want to ask you again, we talked about this in our pretty crazy first take, but now we're back on track. We're all good. About like how hard it was for you when you had a third breast, like in the beginning, like when you found out. I guess you were born with another nipple, right? So tell us about this.
So I was born with a third nipple, and it's a condition called polymastia. So as I got older, it started to develop into a third boob, and I was kind of insecure about it. I wore one-piece swimsuits at the beach. I didn't want anybody seeing anything, and then eventually I said, screw it, and went to a surgeon who put an implant in there and made it more aesthetically pleasing.
And were you happy with it? That's the question. So you probably just felt like, I've got this other breast. This is amazing. Have you looked up any kind of like symbols of what, is there any kind of like deeper spiritual meaning of a third breast? Have you looked this up?
I haven't found anything, but I know like Indian Hindu gods have like goddesses with extra arms, so I'm not sure if that could have anything in common with it, but.
Are you maternal? I know that you love animals and you love saving animals and you have those maternal instincts. I mean, maybe you were gifted this because you have extra love and you just have that extra maternal, like nurturing side. You never know. I mean, that's an interpretation. And it's also very nice for your shows, I'm sure. What kind of reactions do you get from people about your third breast?
Some people freak out about it. Like, after I revealed what I have, oh, I'll answer the question in a minute. But after I reveal it, it kind of freaks people out a little bit.
How do they act? Like, are they just like, oh, that's just weird? Or
Yeah, I
really?
get called a freak a lot. Kind of used
Do
to
you,
it now, though.
do you own it and love it, though? I love being, come on.
Yeah,
It's
I thought about
wonderful being different.
getting it removed at first, but I decided to keep it and have it modified. So,
And do you feel like it's helped your career having that third breast?
yeah, I
Like
believe so.
grabbing attention and curiosity, I'm sure people have about it.
Yeah.
And in the last interview with you, you were talking about how you have special clothes made.
Yeah.
What's your favorite style for the third one? Like, how do you get a good cleavage? That's what I'm curious about. Like, I bet it's beautiful, but like, what's your favorite shirt?
I like halter tops a lot because, like, they're they cover it up a little bit, but I have like this mega rack, I call it.
That's cool. I like that. Mega rack. Mega racked sword swallower.
This guy says, does the third breast function like a normal breast? I mean, it sits there and it jiggles like a normal one would, but I don't have kids, so I don't think it could create milk, but I'm
and
not
you
sure.
also had you had surgery to make it like equal to the other breast, so probably wouldn't be able to breastfeed with that one. But if
Yeah.
you did have kids, I'm sure that your baby would be confused.
Yeah, like pick one.
Or if you had triplets. I'm just kidding.
Three at once.
But it wouldn't work. You just need twins. So, do you get really tired of answering this question about your breasts?
I mean, like if I'm at a busy club and it's like 3 in the morning or something, I'll be like dead tired, but I'll try the best of my ability, I guess you could say.
To like answer questions and people like, oh, tell me about this.
Yeah.
And it's probably fun in a way, like if you're in the right mood, but if you're exhausted and just like, okay, I'm done, I'm sure. Have you ever punched anybody or wanted to punch anybody?
I mean, I have people get kind of grabby and like try to grab it, and I'm like, why are you even trying to touch me? How would you like it if I grabbed your parts?
Do you have like shorter people motorboat you?
I've actually, yeah, but it's kind of difficult to do.
So I really think that you should be in a movie, a horror movie. And I think I'm just using my imagination. I hope this doesn't offend you, but I think you should kill people with your breasts and smother them that talk about them.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Or anybody that says anything about your sword swallowing, you're just like, get over here. Come here. Maybe you could put that in an act and have somebody pretend to be killed or something, like for Halloween.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get a Halloween show. But
yeah. So tell us about that. What are you hoping for? You're going to be in Vegas. What else would you like to do? If you had the opportunity this year, what would you love to do?
So pretty much load up my RV, grab my costumes, grab my props, and go on a tour.
Sweet. Sweet. And your RV's working good.
Yeah, mechanically sound.
No problems like you had at the gathering, right?
Yeah, I didn't know this generator had like a push button start to it, and I pretty much burned myself out trying to pull start it like you do a lawnmower, and it kicked my ass.
Mm-hmm. So Joe Smoke, I'm asking the real questions. Don't you be saying that. He said, Doron out here asking the real questions. Can we see them anywhere online? Now, I will admit, I want to see them because this is art. It's beautiful, right? This is, to me, I have respect. But do you have any pictures online of your other breast? Or
Not yet. Pretty much have to come to my performances to see.
So we're all going to Vegas, I guess. I mean, it's intriguing and it's beautiful. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Do you wear shirts where you show your cleavage just at the store sometimes, just to be fun? Do you ever do that, or do you pretty much keep it like hidden for modesty?
Yeah, I keep it hidden. Like if I go to the gym, I'm like in a sports bra like everybody else. But like I said, the mega rack.
So, okay, I see the third nipple.
Like right.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool, actually. And you have pretty good sized breasts too. Did you have the other ones as well, or just the middle one?
Just the middle one. The other ones
Okay.
are natural.
So they're naturally a good size. So there you go, guys. You saw the nipples. So I'm gonna be her bodyguard. Anybody disrespects her, I will drop kick you. Just kidding. No, you guys are badass. Thanks for asking questions. We appreciate that. Let's see. Oh, I see. Push-up bras. You probably get these questions a lot. Like if you have to wear push-up bras and stuff, and how would you get bras? Do you even wear bras, or do you just do the halter like you were saying?
Yeah, I wear bras when I have to. Like if I'm at the gym, I definitely need to strap these things down.
Like a really good sports bra with those zippers that, do you know what I'm talking about? Where they just like girdle the breasts in.
Yeah,
and they have that
like really the Victoria's Sport or the Under Armour ones.
Nice. And you don't have to like get a third bra or anything. You just tuck it in the middle, right? Yeah, that's nice. Does it ever get uncomfortable? Do you ever feel like, oh, this third breast, you're a pain in the ass?
My boobs are in a straitjacket. That's pretty much how I feel some nights.
Especially if they get like, it's hot and sweaty and stuff. It's probably extra. Yeah, that makes sense. So you said you're afraid of snakes, which my grandmother was afraid of snakes, but I love snakes. I'm obsessed with them. They're amazing. I love pythons. Sorry, I don't mean to freak you out, but is there anything else that you're afraid of?
That's kind of a hard one. Like bears, wolf, wildlife that could kill me pretty much is what scares me. Especially alligators.
Have you ever had an encounter with one?
So there's like not many bears in southwest Michigan, but if you go up north there are. But there was like a weird incident of a bear down here for whatever reason. It was a black bear, and I lived out in the middle of nowhere at the time, right? And I was outside having a fire, and I hear this thing, and it's like grunting, and it's snapping sticks when it walks. And then I just, no, I don't want to come face to face with this thing, so I ran back in my house.
Good. Good. Sometimes if you run, though, they'll chase you. So it's like, do you hold still and become eaten alive, or I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah, I didn't want to hang around and find out.
Right?
Or,
Well, or what?
or as they like to say, but it might not, YouTube might not like it, look around and find out.
Right. Well, I just want to give some people a flash of your kind of style, your burlesque performance. What was the title again? Burlesque Sideshow? Or Sideshow Burlesque? Sideshow Burlesque.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating. I mean, I would rather see that than just your generic Barbie stripper, you know?
Yeah.
And you don't strip all the way, right? Or have you done that? Have you been paid to do that?
I go to like pasties, or sometimes I'll put like electrical tape to make it look a little more punk rock, but that's about it.
That's kind of cool. Like electrical tape?
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about like glow stuff? Maybe glow nipples?
No, but that's
body art.
A good idea.
Body art. When you come through, I will paint your breasts. If you let me. Just kidding. Put like eyes on them. You could be like
Google, yeah.
You could be like alien performer and have like something different. But I'm going to show our viewers a little bit, just a little bit of what you do, just some of your pictures here. So there's kind of a little bit of kind of what you dress like and kind of your style and what you do. And I was really, what grabbed me when I saw your profile, it was suggested, was your name, because I'm a doozy and it's kind of a mythical kind of theme with my music. And so Persephone Dusk was really intriguing. I'm like, ooh, I want to interview another goddess. And that's how I see you. I see you as a goddess. So does anybody else want to comment about that? Do they see her as a goddess? Throw in some good comments. We're almost to an hour, and we went a full hour first take with just horrible audio. I apologize if anybody had to hear that. We were going nuts.
The whole echo.
But we made it work for an hour, but yeah, we should have just started over. Anything else that you would really love to share with us or shout out about anything? Normally I interview musicians, so this is a time where they shout out like supporters or people that have really been there for you that you would like to thank.
Well, I want to give a shout out to Big Al's in Peoria. Thank you for having me.
Nice. Anyone else in your life that supported you that has been a really good supporter? That's a quick question before you shout out more. How does your family feel about what you do?
They were kind of salty about it first, but they've come to accept it because I found something I can thrive in and enjoy.
That's what's up. JWL says, hell yeah, you both are. Do you know this person?
I'm not sure. I might go back and see.
Oh, he's probably referring to the goddess. Yes, we are goddesses, and we know it. Right?
To worship them. Ha 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 ha.
When you heard my song, I talk about snakes a lot. Did that turn you off at all from the song? Can you
Not
or is it like when you visually see snakes?
like coming up close to them.
Because like in one of my lines, it's like snakes, they move right across your cheeks. Like,
yeah,
did that kind of creep you out?
Not really. It's like encountering snakes like one-on-one, like having them crawl up me is what creeps me out. But if you talk about them, that's not going to scare me.
Okay. Would you ever try to challenge yourself with this fear? Like, has anybody ever like swallowed them or done anything? That sounds weird. Swallowing a snake. Ugh. That's probably not healthy to do. But would you ever like really challenge yourself with this fear?
I mean, I'd try to like hold one or something, but that'd be like the most I'd challenge it. When I was going to Las Vegas, I was walking this dog when I got her at a rest stop. And this guy's like, don't go over there. There's an agitated rattlesnake. And I'm like, you mean a nope rope? I just didn't want to be anywhere near a rattlesnake. But if it's something non-venomous, I'm down, I guess.
Yeah, rattlesnakes, they're beautiful creatures that you want to stay away from. That's for sure. And speaking of snakes, there's a lot of snakes out there. People snakes. You want to stay away from those too.
Yeah, I've encountered quite a few people snakes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Even kissed a couple.
Really? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And some of them bite. And you just have to chop their head off. No.
Don't me.
I really think that you would be a great character in a horror movie, and you love horror movies. Like a clown or something where you just get people back, you know? Like do you feel that at all? Do you feel any kind of like animosity towards any kind of negativity that you've had from people?
I think that abusive people just need to face their own kind of justice, honestly.
Like it comes back at them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Or
set
like,
them free in the wild and they're not going to survive.
Truth.
Mm-hmm. Or you could devastate their crops as Persephone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you take out a farmer's crops, there goes feeding a town, and there goes any kind of profit.
Economy goes up. Just totally destroys the world. People go hungry. I mean, have you been kind of meddling? Because these things are happening. I'm just kidding. These things are actually happening right now.
I didn't do it.
Okay, good. I love mythology. I think it's amazing.
Same. I've been into it since I was a kid.
Same here. If you were a mythological creature, what would you be?
Probably a siren.
I totally relate with that. Totally relate. When I went to Peru and I was like all these shamans are like, you used to be in the White City and you were a siren mermaid. They like told me over and over, and it actually, like, if there is such thing as like reincarnation or whatever, yeah, that is totally me. I love it.
The White City, like Atlantis?
It's like the White City. It's in Peru and it's underwater.
Oh.
And it's like really cool. They have pink dolphins, but it's a mythical place. It's not a place anybody has really been, but the tribes talk about it. and there were sirens, and I think it really does tie into Atlantis.
It sounds a lot like it.
Or maybe from the same time, and maybe there were more than one society out there that were like Atlantis.
Like big major cities.
And we just say Atlantis, but it's talking about a whole time era on Earth. You never know. I'm just guessing. I don't know shit.
Me either.
What's that?
Me either.
Right?
I've heard like about the White City till you just mentioned it now.
You have heard of it before?
Haven't.
Oh, you haven't? Well, I mean, this is like in the heart of the
thing.
jungle from ancient. They carried on ancient things that are hidden from society. So it was pretty cool. So now you know, everyone. There's a white city somewhere in mythology. They found underwater. They actually found like caverns and staircases and like castle places, but it could have been something that was just underwater that used to be a city. So who knows? But anyways, back to your shout outs. Do you have any other shout outs for anybody? Like, do you have any like performers that are really good friends that have really helped you along the way? Teachers?
Mystic Raven, she's another performer who I love dearly. She's been around since I started performing, and definitely HB the Grizzly. I love you and miss you.
HB Grizzly's going to be at Gorefest.
Yep.
Are you going?
I wish I could, but my finances are preventing me right now.
Well, we're trying to make it happen. We might be there. So.
I know that Scum and LSP's big event in Colorado.
Yep, it's at the Roxy, I believe, the Gorefest, and it's going to be really cool. They have it every year. So, HB Grizzly, she's badass. We're going to be interviewing her after Gorefest. So keep an eye out for that. I absolutely adore her too. She's amazing, and she's made it pretty big. Like, I saw her on the ICP show. She won a contest. Did she tell you about that?
I think it was the Juggalo Gong show.
Yeah, the Juggalo Gong show. I don't know the title of it, but I saw her on that, and she won. That was cool to see her.
That's like one thing I thought about the stage at the gathering. There needs to be more women on this.
Very true. I believe in that big time. And it's kind of tough in the industry for women, but once you get your head kind of out of that pit that you get thrown in because you're female, you got it made. I think so. And I think more women need to really push it and go for it if they have talents and they want to do it, you know? So mad shout out to all the women out there that are badass, that need to be seen and need to go on stage at the gathering. What do you think? Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
Well, thank you so much for giving it a second go. I think this has been a great interview. One of my favorites, to be honest. Yeah, what do you think? Hell yeah. Maybe someday we'll, like, when you come through, I would love to meet you. Are you driving through our town, though?
Probably. When I have this RV, it's like I'm basically driving a semi. I'm going to try to go the least mountainous route possible because of all the grades and crazy hills. And
so you would probably want to go on I-80 through like Wyoming. It's flat. It's a very long stretch, but you want to make sure you have your gas. But it's flat. It's not as rocky as I-70. I-70 is very mountainous. You're going down. If you're coming from that direction, how big is your rig?
It's a 20 foot. It's basically on a chassis for a dually.
Okay. So it would be very easy in the Rocky Mountains because you have a lot of steep hills, and then going back home, once you go up a certain altitude, diesels, they all have to pull over on the side. It takes forever to get up those hills. So I would definitely do I-80, or if you go south through like Arizona, and then you can get to Nevada.
Yeah, I was supposed to take that route coming back from LA, but there was like flood warnings, so it took me on I-70. My rental car was like this Chevy Spark, basically a go-kart thing,
Damn.
but made it.
You made it. That's good. Don't you love it when you're like on the grace of whatever and you're like white knuckling it? Is
Yeah,
that how it was?
true that, definitely.
Do you travel alone a lot, or what is your?
Yeah, I travel alone. I've been to about 32 out of 50 states, and I normally
Nice.
just bring my dogs.
It's probably easier that way too, you know?
Yeah,
Definitely. Well, that's badass. I think that's just badass. Seriously, you are one of my favorite peoples. I'm glad I got to interview and get to know you.
yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. And thanks again for getting on the second time. I hope everybody loved this interview. And I think we're going to close it out. So thank you, Persephone Dusk. Where can we find you? Like, do you have a website, or do you just have like a Facebook page?
So I have Facebook, and if you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm Persephone_Dusk.
Okay. Persephone_Dusk. I'm going to put that in the comments right now. So you guys all can find her. All lowercase, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay. I just put it in the comments. You guys can check that out. And mad love to you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, and thank you everybody for watching. And whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop. Have a good night.
You too, babe.
Okay, thanks.